Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, it has come to my attention that Andrew Tate has blocked brother Sajid. And a lot of people used to get mad at me when I would post about Tate, and they would call me unhinged, they would call me bitter feminist. I mean, the insults were quite high. They would say, "Why don't you DM him and say it in private?" And I would always say, that's extremely inappropriate, and he would just delete it and ignore it anyways. And it's not required that you always say something privately when someone's doing something public on a mass scale. There's context to where you can correct something publicly and then give advice privately. There's a balance, right? So I feel that we have just seen Tate's true intentions, because he caters to the white nationalist, far-right Christian groypers. And Brother Sajid has always been pretty calm and respectable in his videos. He's lots more calm than me. He's able to control his mouth better than me. And for Tate to block someone as mellow and stoic as Sajid, it goes to show you that he's very thin-skinned, and he takes the side of the groypers, the Christians, more than he does the believers. And this is something that I've noticed more and more about him, and I've shared the evidences of that on my blog, Instagram back in the day, but also on my community tab, because so many Muslims were getting into the red pill, and they were pushing Tate's philosophy real hard. And if you criticize Tate's behavior in any way, you were almost takfired. People would always label you as just something horrible. But now we're seeing that Tate, in his Bruv Party platform, he's proposing things that are secular and Christian, not Islamic. And if you look at some of the comments, you'll see the truth that those groypers have about their perspective concerning Tate. His race, his hedonism, and his religion. And I just find it really sad that Sajid was trying to correct the record and say this isn't crime in the name of Islam. These are Muslims who are doing a crime, but if they were to obey Islam, they wouldn't be doing that. And it's pathetic, absolutely pathetic, how countless Christians in America, and in Latin America, and in Italy, can get caught doing things to little boys, and we don't say, this is Christian crime. We don't really label Christian crime very well, when there are more Protestants in prison in America than Catholics. It is alarming how Christians, as soon as one of their members does a crime, it's only placed on that individual, not the whole faith. And so, this also, I do believe that it's been a decade-long problem in that community, which is heartbreaking. My heart goes out to the children, obviously. And everyone who committed those crimes should be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. But it's been going on for a long time, and I think Elon Musk is focusing on it just to cover how the H-1B visas, tech bros, legal immigrants from India were coming in, and the groypers were very pissed at him. He demonetized people, he took away their blue check marks, and he banned major accounts. I did screenshot. I was gonna go through all of them and make a video, but I thought, no, he might just reinstate them, and I don't really care what happens to the groypers. But it is evident that Elon is struggling with, how do you keep the groypers happy? And I mentioned in the past, Pearl Davis tried to do this. Myron Gaines is doing this as well. Everybody wants to be loved by the Nick Fuentes crowd, because they have a lot of money to spend as well. So Andrew Tate is now in that mix. Everyone wants to the love and affection of the Groypers at this point in time because of MAGA. But yet, Nick Fuentes, I've watched him do videos on Rumble where he's saying, things that he doesn't like about Trump. So we'll see what that leads to. But the point is that Tate has taken the side of the Christians against the Muslims. And people are using Tate against the Muslims. And the fact that Elon Musk retweeted Tate is quite shocking. I do feel worried because Elon Musk has such a large platform that for him to be dog whistling against Islam is alarming. My eldest, likes the Cybertruck. I think we have to have a conversation now about, I gotta break the news to her that Elon doesn't like Muslims, so we should not support his products and be associated with his brand. And this is going to be hard for a lot of kids, but we have to hold the line and say, just like we don't go to Starbucks, stuff like that, we can't be supporting people who are encouraging Christians to look at us with hate, especially us women who wear the hijab. You got to be careful now. We have to be so careful now. And Elon Musk will be held accountable on Judgment Day for every incitement he led that caused some Muslims to be harmed. And so, be safe out there. But it should be very clear now, the fact that he blocked Sajid, a very respectful individual, a knowledgeable brother. Everyone has their faults. I know there's going to be some people who are going to say this or that about any person online. But the point is that for him to block Sajid just really proves everything I've been thinking about him all along. And he's not blocking the Groypers who insult him and sell this stuff. But he is very eager to block Sajid. And I also think that, he cozies up more to the Groypers in a way because he is a pimp. Sure, since we're forgiven. I still see his videos though where he has, hoochie mama, bimbo, prostitutes with him. And his fake crypto scams and all that garbage. There are people who, more on the far right, they want that dream of having, what he has. But Muslims, they do sin by watching some of the videos where there's women. But I think that on a deep level, they know they can't give money to him. Because he owns casinos, he tells people to participate in interest. He goes to Dubai, the bathhouse of whores, It's really, to the point where, as a believer, you're like, wherever we spend our money, we're going to be held responsible. And Tate's products and stuff that he sells are not something that help our deen. They don't help us get closer to Allah, so we're not going to pay. Whereas Christians, on the far right, magatards, they don't really have that kind of taqwa, that consciousness. But there are some good Christians, I would argue, who they see Tate for what he is, and they're like, no, you're out of here. But Tristan Tate is the one who tries to brainwash the Christians into following into their cult. Tate literally calls his cult Daddy. He made a coin called Daddy, to where men were wearing shirts that said Daddy on it. Very homosexual vibes. I don't even know a gay guy who would wear a shirt that says Daddy. And that tells you all you need to know. But be wise. And brothers, please, I know it may be painful for your hero to be kind of like going into a villain thing. But really look at how a brother gave him respectful, solid, credible advice, admonition, and he blocked him. Shameful. May Allah rectify Tate's affairs, put him back on the straight path, and may he stop his racism. He said even horrible things about his own mom picking a black man. I really should have compiled. It takes so long though because he tweets a lot. I post a lot. I get it, but he said things about his mom picking a black man. That he's mad at his mom for leaving his dad because he was prolific cheater. He's pointed out that picture he did where an immigrant was on a boat with a knife coming to the UK to shank people. He is now really giving cannon fodder to the far right in England and America. And so, he's really got too many far right talking points for us to feel comfortable. And he can mask it and phrase it as he's trying to help the Muslim community come better. But I haven't seen anyone defend the actions of those individuals. But rather, as Sajid and others pointed out, we're clarifying the record that those actions are not done with Islamic permission, nor are they done in the name of Islam. Those people are disobeying their faith and happen to be part of our faith, supposedly. And Islam is not a race, but a religion, and someone being from Pakistan doesn't automatically make them Muslim. Okay? Again, let's not forget the history of the Italian mob, who were Catholics. Okay, everyone loves Tony Soprano, but they totally ignore, often, about even in fiction, Goodfellas, The Godfather, those were Catholics. And there's some truth to that. And so, remember the story I shared about the nun who was working with the mafia in Italy? It's bizarre how the cartels in Mexico, they have occultists, but they have Virgin Mary tattoos, Jesus tattoos, Virgin of Guadalupe tattoos, rosary tattoos, praying hands tattoos, the sureños and norteños, those gangs, those cartels, they go to mass, they read the Bible, they are cartel members who sell drugs, but that isn't classified as Christian crime. No matter if they're from Ecuador, if they're from Colombia, El Salvador. I mean, you'll see lots of Mara Salvatrucha MS-13 gangbangers with Christian tattoos on them. And Christians get to say, nope, they're not one of us. So think about that. Anyways, be wise and make sure that you don't get angry at the messenger here, where I'm just trying to give you what I see. Also, maybe you've noticed some other things as well. So put that in the comment section. Please like, comment, and subscribe.